What if I told you your vote didn't matter? Not because you were too lazy to show up, not because the other guy stuffed a ballot box, but because someone in a suit redrew your district with a spreadsheet and a grudge. This isn't red versus blue. This is insiders versus everybody else. And right now, they're moving the goalposts so far you'd need a passport to vote. Texas is rewriting the rules mid-game. California is threatening to fire back, and now Florida is warming up in the bullpen. This isn't politics. This is a knife fight with a map. So, what is gerrymandering? Gerrymandering is democracy's slow-acting poison. It's the art of carving districts so the people in charge never have to pack up their offices. They pack opposition voters into one district so their voters pile up uselessly. They crack other communities across so many districts they couldn't elect a dog catcher. It's legal, it's normal, and it's the best scam running. Because most of you have no idea it's happening until your district looks like spilled spaghetti on a map. We've been doing this crap since 1812 when Governor Elbridge Gerry's salamander-shaped district made him a political cartoon punchline. The Voting Rights Act dulled the blade. But by the 2000s, Republicans launched Project Red Map. Win cheap state races, take over legislatures, and redraw the maps with surgical precision. We didn't lose elections. We lost before they even started. Texas Republicans decided patience is for losers and want to redraw the map mid-decade. Not for population shifts, for panic control. They slice up Black and Latino neighborhoods like brisket, scattering the vote so thin you can taste it. Democrats literally leave the state to block the vote like a bad sequel in 2021. And if this works, mid-cycle redraws, they become just another Tuesday. California, land of the Independent Commission. They hint throwing their own rule book out into the shredder if Texas gets away with it. Once both biggest states start dueling over the map, we're not talking reform. We're talking a cartographic arms race. And no one puts the nukes back in the silo after they've been launched. And then, of course, just when you thought the brawl was big enough, Florida strolls in, shirtless, holding a gator, yelling, "Hold my beer." They've set up a special committee to redraw their congressional map mid-decade, 7 years early. They already flipped 4 seats for the GOP in 2022, thanks to DeSantis' backed map, but apparently that's not enough. This in a state with the Fair Districts Amendment, which is about to find out fair is a flexible word, and Democrats are lining up lawsuits before the first pen stroke. Now you've got Texas, California, and Florida in the fight. That's not politics. That's a 3-front war. Your vote, it's not just diminished. It's face down in the pool while the lifeguards argue about who gets the good lounge chair. So you thought Texas was the messiest. Meet the rest of them. California is waiting with a pitcher of borrow back. New York and Illinois are circling like vultures, fever reading maps. Maryland's watching too. Ohio, they already got a redraw by law, but they're thinking, why not do it again for 3 more seats? Missouri, Indiana, Kansas, they're slicking their pencils. New Hampshire's peeking from the corner saying, maybe we'll join the party, but just yesterday, the governor said, not going to happen. Georgia and Pennsylvania, they're not feeling official yet, but the tension's rising. So you now have Texas, California, Florida, plus a rotation of swing states all wrestling with the map. You're not just watching politics. You're watching a full-on cartographic civil war, and your vote is the first casualty. After those 3 fire shots, the rest of the country won't just watch. Florida moves, then New York, then Pennsylvania, then Illinois, Ohio, Missouri, Indiana, Kansas. Control of Congress stops being about voters. It's about which party's cartographers have the sharper knives. And by the way, maps aren't drawn by hand anymore. They're engineered by AI running thousands of simulations to get their perfect partisan advantage. Your district isn't an accident. It's a data product built to ignore you while keeping the incumbent's donor list fat and happy. So, safe districts equal zero accountability. Your rep doesn't care what you want because they can't lose. Town halls, gone. Policy innovation, dead. The only election that matters is a primary. So, the most extreme voices win. Now, Republicans slice aggressively and brag about it. Democrats smooth the edges and say, it's fair. Different marketing, same scam. So what do we do? What are the solutions? What could we do to fix this? First, you can ban mid-cycle redraws. 1 map per census unless a court intervenes. Real citizen commissions, no insiders. What does that look like? Easy. Start with a selection process. Randomized, lottery style, selection from a pool of everyday citizens, much like jury duty, but with built-in demographic balancing so the commission reflects the state's population. Then you have eligibility rules that ban anyone who has held elected office or has been a political appointee for the past 10 years, has been a paid or political consultant, lobbyist, major donor, gone. They live in that same household of someone in those categories, gone. And then the vetting would be handled by nonpartisan staff, retired judges, academic institutions rather than party leaders. And it would be composed of 1/3 of Democrats, 1/3 Republicans, and then 1/3 of independents or minority party voters. You have equal gender balances and proportional racial ethnic representation based on the state's census data. All members must disclose financial and political connections before serving. And then you have all these meetings public, live streamed, archived online. All maps published for public comment before anyone votes. Mandatory public hearings in multiple regions, not just the capital. Open source mapping tools available to the public so anyone can submit their own map proposals. And then you have decision making. Supermajority. 8 out of the 12 required to approve a map, so no single party can just ram one through. And the criteria would be locked into law. Equal population, compliance with the Voting Rights Act, respect for communities of interest, compactness over partisan advantage. Explicit prohibition on using partisan voting data to draw maps. Only demographic and geographic data allowed. And then accountability. Commissioners can't run for office in any district they drew for at least 10 years. Independent audits of final maps by outside experts. Then, of course, citizen challenge mechanism. If 10% of the voters sign a petition, the map must be re-reviewed. Let the public see the sausage get made. Because we were told voting was a power, but they turned the map into a chokehold. The lines are the scam. They tell you whether your voice counts before you even open your mouth. Now, when the pendulum swings, the Democrats have a big opportunity. Demographic shifts in suburbs, ballot initiatives in swing states, all can hand the Democrats the pen. They could lock in their own advantage, but risk destroying their "we play fair" brand in the process. Now, the Republican counterpunch. Republicans will sue, rally rural turnout, and pass anti-judicial activism amendments to protect their maps. So it's trench warfare fought with pencils and lawyers. The map war isn't coming. It's here. Texas struck first. California is loading up. Florida and the rest of the team is running in hot. If Democrats win, Republicans will counter. If Republicans win, Democrats will counter. And you're collateral damage. We fix this by admitting the lines are rigged. Always have been. This has been Raised by Boomers. And if you're not pissed off yet, go look at your district map.